Hey y'all, so I have a special treat for everyone. I'm going to be showing y'all how to do a double rod wrap, or what's called the oval perm. So I'm taking two rods and I'm making them work as one. And that oval shape is going to give great, nice, deep waves. Because I am using an acid wave for this perm, I decided to go two rods smaller than I would have. So typically I would have gone a size bigger, but what I did was I went a purple rod and the rod just below it. And what this is going to do is give it still a nice deep wave. This is not, and by the way, I am a professional, so full disclaimer that every hair type is going to be different. The length of the hair is going to affect this. The type of perm solution you're going to use is going to affect this. But this is a perm that will give you a lot of body, a lot of waves, deep waves. Will not give you tight curls. You can get a tighter look if you use these smaller size rods. But again, this is still a nice specialty wrap. I'm using two rods as one. I'm wrapping it. I'm putting it right to the scalp. Also, a disclaimer here, the beauty supplier store has added the perm picks. Now, typically for a perm like this, you would use picks to take the tension of the band off of the hair to prevent breakage, but I'm going to try this anyway and pray that this works. I am also using an acid wave, a true acid wave, an endothermic perm, so I'm going to be placing this mannequin right under a dryer, a hooded dryer to process, and this will be a really fun wrap. I saw this wrap on Studio Luma, which is a great program, shows you how to work on all hair types. If you are a professional or if you are teaching cosmetology, it's even better. So I'm gonna show you all how to do the one wrap on the side, and then I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna apply the perm solution. Again, it's just like the other videos, 1, 2, and if you can, 3 swipes across each rod to saturate it. These mannequins have a lot of hair, so I have a feeling I might need 2 perms. I'm hoping I can just get by with 1. All right, so for this perm, and by the way, this is not going to be the last time I'm going to be doing this perm. If I go live again, which I'm trying to get in a schedule that works for me and works for all of y'all, I'll be able to show you how to do the whole head of this. This is actually my first time trying this perm, so it'll be fun. It's a learning experience for everyone. It is great if you have that one client who wants deep waves and maybe you don't have the flexi rods, or if you don't feel comfortable doing a piggyback perm, you can do this perm and get a good result as well. This is more of an interesting take on the perm, because as you know, the perm matters on, obviously the hair's texture is important. The way the perm comes out also depends upon the product you use. There are different chemicals for perming out there. Some of them are more aggressive and produce that traditional old lady hair. Others produce more of a fine curl like this one. So being able to understand that is important as well. You also make sure the hair is nice and shampooed. I used a acidic clarifying shampoo to clean the hair. You can do a clarifying treatment before perm. It's even better because, as you know, perm solution will show you anything that has been in the hair. If there's any metals in there, the perm solution is going to react. So you want to make sure you work on a nice clean canvas. And because this mannequin does have some bleached hair, just so everyone knows, the price of extensions have gone up, if anyone has noticed that, as well as mannequins, because there's a hair shortage. A lot of the hair is actually sourced, believe it or not, from Asia. And if you know of the current situations there, that kind of tells you why, because we're not being able to get the hair and they're not having the processing like they used to. So please buy as many mannequins as you can. If you are doing stuff like I am, I'm waiting on a new shipment of some mannequins. So this mannequin does have some bleached ends. I prepped them with a protein filler just to kind of fill in little cracks there and prevent over-processing so I can get an even result. Ideally, a thiofree perm would be excellent for this mannequin, but because I don't have any of that in stock, I'm just using the next best option, which is an acid perm. So again, like a regular perm, you're going to take your rod, and your rod is going to show you the section that you need. Because mannequins have a lot of the hair in their hairline, this might be a little difficult in the front. That's totally normal. What you're going to do is section right here, and I usually go in and just comb that away. And if you're a little off, no biggie. Usually with perms, you want to sometimes, some people even do a weave section, and the benefit of that is you do get more of a natural fall when you take the rods out. No one wants to have a perm where you see harsh lines in it. That just does not look good at all. And if you want, you can just clip that out of the way. This takes a lot of getting used to because you're going to be using two rods as one. So you're going to take, I usually do it with the big rod first and the little rod under it, and see how that has a nice oval shape. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the diameter of the hair like so. Typically this is a little bit bigger of a section than you normally would do with a perm. So I'm gonna get a section like so. I'm gonna comb it up. And with this perm, with most perms, just about every single one of them, you want 90 degrees up from where the hair lives. So, just like so. You're gonna do a double end wrap. You do not wanna do a single wrap for this kind of perm. Double end wrap gives you more control with this type of wrap, and it provides the most amount of room for swelling. Wet the rod a little bit. I'm gonna try to zoom in so y'all can see me wrap this down. So again, no, it doesn't look good either. So what I'll do is I'll show you, I'm gonna have the rods like so. I'm going to start wrapping right down. Don't worry too much about these, the perm ends, because if you see when I'm wrapping down, let me zoom in. If you worry too much about this, you're going to lose tension. Focus more on making these two perm rods work like one. Let the rubber bands fall wherever they fall. And if you need to, sometimes you have to just gently manipulate these rods, unwind a little bit if you have to. And trying to get this one rod just like so. And you want the rubber band to go right across the hair like so. And then obviously, because I don't have the rubber bands, not rubber bands, the picks, you would take the pick and put it through both rods to get it to stay and to take the tension away from the hair. So again, I'm going to show another angle on how to wrap this. This mannequin needs a little bit of a spray. You might even notice too, because of the hair shortage, that a lot of these mannequins might not have the best quality hair. I actually had a whole group of students that were prepping for state board, and their mannequins not only were sparse, but the hair was coming out in clumps because they're being extra careful now with disinfection with the hair, and they're treating it with very strong chemicals that might cause basically the hair to kind of break down a lot more. So just a heads up on how some of the mannequins might be different. This type of perm wrap is a specialty wrap, so make sure that you're charging accordingly. I would charge more than you would a regular perm. And you also want to, tell the client that, hey, like this perm is going to be, your hair is still going to be, I wouldn't say damaged, but say that your hair is chemically treated after, so you have to then be very careful how you're going to proceed with chemical services. Also, retouching this perm is a little bit difficult. You want to make sure your client is doing regular trims to make the ends even, make it easier with wrapping, and also prevent hair from getting frizzy, because this is not the type of perm that you would necessarily be able to do a root perm with. Okay, let me spray this. I'm gonna move this mannequin up, so I'll show y'all how. This will probably be a better angle if you can see. I swear, I wish I had a recording studio that I can just go into and have like a nice little camera team. You know, I'm not like one of these crazy big stylists. I always like to keep things, you know, personal. I didn't do all this to get famous. I do it because I like educating. All right, so what you're doing is you get that nice end paper wrapped around there. You want to make sure all the ends are in here, otherwise you get a horrible looking perm and you get fish hooks. So then again, you want to wrap 90 degrees, firm tension on the rods. Obviously you aren't yanking like so, but if you have any stragglers, you can just flip them inside the hair like so, or band-aid it with an end paper. All right, and that one is going to rest just like so. And you can have fun with this. You can have the smaller rod resting on the scalp. You can also have the larger rod resting. It still is an oval shape, and natural waves, remember how natural waves and natural hair will vary. So if you want this to look as natural as possible, it's not just a bad thing to have that happen. Okay, so this is going to go across. Fasten that rod in like so. And again, you're going to fasten this perm rod right there. The other thing you want to make sure for safety reasons is when you wrap, think of it like this. If this perm rod bounces back, it's just going to go right to the back of their head. If it's the other way around and your perm rods, like I purposely wrapped this like this to show everyone, if you have your rods wrapped like this and your perm rod, see how this is wrapped to the end right here? That rod's going to bounce off, whack them, and take their eye out. So again, just always safety first. You're thinking about, you know, what's it going to feel like for the client. The other important thing is that after you do this, you're going to do barrier cream around the face because you are using a chemical, especially when you're going under a dryer. No one wants a chemical burn on their face. So always protect the client like so. I'm going to continue my wrapping procedure down here and in the back. It's all very simple. If you want to use clips and pre-section out the hair, you can do so. I just kind of freeform mine because it looks a little bit more natural. So I will come back when the whole thing is wrapped, and then I may or may not show everyone the perm procedure. It's really easy. You just, again, if you see all my other videos how to apply the perm, you never also want to scratch it with the perm solution. 1, 2, 3. Do the whole head, and if you have a little extra, go back and just look for areas that might not be as saturated. But usually 3 swipes across each rod, more than enough. Extra long hair, very thick hair, always consider getting 2 boxes because having a little extra, maybe you don't need to use a second box, you have it for another perm. That's what you got to think of, is what if you don't have enough? Then that's a problem, because then you'll have a client with beautiful waves and then either incomplete or loose curls because there was not enough solution for saturation. So that is the wrapping method, and I will show you all when it's all finished. All right, so this is the perm when it is fully wrapped, and obviously I need the picks. I don't have any picks. I don't think I even have any toothpicks. So what I am going to do is process the perm accordingly and then pray that I do not have any breakage or dents. That's one of the issues when you're doing this kind of perm, is if you do not have the white picks that you can put in there and they're plastic. Again, nothing metal when you're doing a perm. If you don't have those, just go with the flexi rods and try to do something different, because this is not the perm that you would want to do without material, because you can cause a lot of damage. Also, I just found on her hair, I didn't go along with the part line. I just went when, you know, I found the one part that she had more hair on, I put a few extra rods in there. This kind of perm gives you a lot of waves that you can just kind of do any parting you'd wish. And in the back, I just divided it into 3 sections and wrapped it accordingly. So I'm going to process the perm and show y'all what it looks like when it's all finished. All right, y'all, so this is the finished result of the double rod perm. And I'm gonna say right now that I did take some pictures before I washed that. That will be up on my Instagram. I do have to say that this is not the intended look of the perm. I'm gonna be honest, I think she might have over-processed a little bit on the ends, which I was expecting that. I tried my best to prevent that. But again, this is a good learning lesson, because even though this is I call this a fail, this is not a full 100% fail where her hair is on the floor and it's screaming. This is one of those fails that I can use as a teachable moment, just to let you know that, let's say you have a client, you have this idea, and you have a perm you're going to use because you know she has multiple porosities. Well, let this be a learning lesson, because let's say that you say, well, I have my tools, but I'm out of picks and I'm out of my perm solution. This is a chance then to say, yeah, no, I'm not going to do anything, because it will cause more harm than good. Again, it is more of a softer curl. You can see up top where it has this nice wavy pattern. The mannequin also was colored, so it did fade some of the color out. Even if you do your best job perming, that will still happen. So you see a good wave right there, what it should look like. Even at the sides, you will see a nice wave. It gives you a very different wave, almost like you used a beach wave iron or the what I call the waffle iron. Back here, you see some wave, but it comes to like this frizzed, straighter pieces. That is because of over-processing. I did style this mannequin before with some mousse. I washed the mannequin, and since I washed it, it softened up a little bit. This is something to keep in mind because the type of perm I used is acidic in pH, and it's also super gentle on the hair. Now, if this was an alkaline wave, the ends probably would have melted off. There was no shedding with this perm. The best bet would have been to use a thiophene perm or a perm that uses cysteamine. You still want the ammonia in that perm because some of the thiophenes don't use ammonia, they use MEA. That is a perm that you do not want. You want a thiophene perm that contains ammonia because it is clean when evaporating. And this is the final result of the perm. So I know a little bit disappointing. I am getting a better mannequin, so I will show you all this with a better mannequin and doing it the right way with picks. I do want to say, though, picks have been incredibly difficult to find. I have my good friend at Sally Beauty Supply trying to get me picks, so they're going to hold those off. I called Salon Centric too. Salon Centric, I called 4 of them. I called 2 Cosmoprofs, and I think I called like 4 Sally Beauty Supplies. So I called like more than several of these beauty suppliers, and not one of them had picks. So I'm going on Amazon to get them. I'm also noticing that perm rods are in short demand as well for some reason. So anyhow, the double rod perm first attempt, I know it could be better. I am probably going to give this mannequin a trim. I'm also going to be coloring this mannequin because she's faded up top. I'm going to do about a 7G hair color, a medium gold, and I'm going to fade her into a nice golden blonde. The reason being is because she's so porous from all these chemical services that if I just used ash, her hair would turn green. If I used straight up neutral, it would turn green. And on her natural up top, it could turn brassy. So I always do gold because gold is more softer, it's more natural. It actually acts like an ash if you use it on porous hair, because porous hair like this rejects warm and it grabs cool very quick. And that is not a look that your client wants. So if you have any questions, please like, comment, hit that subscribe button down below. Oh, and also, oh shoot, before I go, I just want to say up here, if you look up top, if you see the indentations, that is where the rubber band was, and that is the whole point of using a pick for this type of perm. But anyhow, if y'all have any questions, comment down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all more videos in the future.